I twisted my ankle before we went to Austria. I'd just been bouldering and it's right by the road, so I just had silly trainers on with no grip, and I was walking back over the rocks. I just slipped on a rock pool. Big twist, sit there, lots of pain for a few minutes and walk it off, you know. But I twisted it again on Thursday running in the mud, and ligaments, they just take forever to bloody strengthen up again because you've got a crap blood supply and whatnot. So I chucked out my crappy shoes, did the health and safety thing, right? Health and safety review. Chuck out the worn out smooth sole trainers, don't wear them anymore. Wear the same shoes I wear for cross country running for day-to-day use, which means that if I'm wandering across beaches in rock pools, these got a decent pair of shoes on, good grip, slightly less likely to slip and hurt myself. Yeah, this prolonged period of rain is still here. Oh god. Yeah. And everything's very wet, which means that with climbing we're getting pushed indoors. We climbed indoors yesterday and today. And in Wales, this is fairly typical, right? We're to the west of England. The prevailing wind direction is from the west. So the bad weather tends to come in, Ireland gets it first, then we get it. So we get a lot of rain, and then it tends to, you know, drop most of its rain on us before it gets to England. So prolonged periods of wet weather are very Welsh. In fact, the rivers of Wales, which have collected all the rain, then flow into England and feed it. So you could say rain is actually one of Wales's biggest exports to England. Phones are going brown. So obviously you can't climb outdoors when it's wet because you slip off. It's no fun. So we climb indoors. Now I'm not very good with indoor stuff, so I love running outside. When the weather's like this, running outside in the rain is fine. Even cycling, when I was training for cycling and stuff, I'd much rather do 4.5, 5 hours outside in the rain and get cold and wet than I would spend an hour on the turbo, an hour on the indoor bike. Hated it, couldn't do it. Same with running treadmills, half an hour running on the treadmill feels like eternity. But climbing indoors is okay. Whoops. It's sociable, it's more interesting, it's fun. It's not as good as climbing outdoors for me personally, but it's nice. Anyway, enough about that. What I thought we'd do this week is ask Kim why she likes climbing, because I think I know why, but I wonder if she's ever thought about it. I thought you guys might find it interesting too. I'm running because I always run, but also I'm running because there's a bag of donuts at home. I thought I better go for a run before I have a donut and a coffee, right? Shouldn't have a donut as a second breakfast, so let's go for a run. Oh, I think I'm earning it. The other thing about running in the rain is there aren't very many other people out, so you get the place to yourself, which is quite nice. Going there for?
Going back and all the way around. I didn't know. Come here.
Alright, first question.
Yeah?
So why do we go climbing?
Because it's fun. It's an adventure.
Alright.
Come in.
The hell, I haven't got any. It's pitch black here.
Oh, you can get through there.
Actually, you disappearing into a cave for no good reason, climbing through and climbing out the other side is probably a really good answer to why do you go climbing. Yeah. That sums it up, I think.
Like this.
Oh, this is...
Look at that. It's a chimney. I mean, you can get through it. Be a bit of a squeeze, but I reckon I could get through there. Oh my gosh. This is a squeeze. Oh. The answer is yes. I can get through that.
Where does it come out?
Just to the left of the
So do you know why you climb, or is that basically it? Is because it's a fun thing to do?
I hate it. What do you mean? You make me
Well,
climb.
I mean like the thing you just did.
I love it
You
because
just like doing
it's adventurous and it's fun. You find places you've never been before and nooks and crannies you have never seen before and people have never seen before, and it's just fun.
So what's your favourite thing about climbing? Is there a favourite thing? A highlight?
There's lots of things I like about climbing. I like the adventure. I like
what's the number one, like the best thing? Or there isn't one?
I suppose it's a sense of adventure, really. It's
Right.
travelling places and visiting places that I think that's the most important thing. But also, I love the challenge of climbing. I love being on the rock. I love the exposure. I love.
You can't do one thing. Oh, you like the exposure?
Yeah, I do, because when you.
Well, like
saying that,
exposure
not
or
more particularly. No, really, hate that. But I do love being on a cliff face with the waves crashing underneath you and things like that.
Yeah.
Or in
that
the
sense
mountains
of being up
and,
high.
Yeah, in the mountains and just being that little speck on a massive rock face. It's
Sense
lovely.
of not being entirely safe.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose doing something a bit different. It's a challenge.
Because when you're exposed, when you're part of a multi-pitch route, it's going to be difficult to get down, difficult to get up. When you're a speck on a mountain, and there is a risk that something might go wrong, it would be very difficult to extricate yourself.
But then you've got that challenge, and that sense of achievement as well.
Yeah.
You do it,
Right.
you're like, oh my god. At the time, you might be petrified, and wishing you weren't there, and second guessing your ability to make good judgment. But when you actually do it and you survive it, you think, oh my god, that was amazing. And look, I'm one of a very few percentages of human beings that actually do these things, and it's what you really feel like you're living, don't you?
Do you have a favourite memory from climbing?
Yeah, one of my favourites is when we did, it's Tower Ridge, wasn't it? And we did that
Back of Ben Nevis.
yeah, back of Ben Nevis and that gap, and then the gully with the kind of arch gap that you had to climb through.
Yeah.
And that sense of having to drop, because it was a bit easy for you because you could reach it, but I had to do that drop, and it was just like precipice underneath you, no ropes, and then I couldn't quite reach. You had to climb down, couldn't you? It was a massive gap of thousands of feet under feet.
Yeah.
And you could just put your feet down, whereas I couldn't. I had to drop like 1.5 feet or something. But just that, if I drop awkwardly, I'm going to be gone.
But we were roped up, but still, that was like lots of exposure. That's a very famous route.
Yeah.
And the difficult bit, the gap, is almost at the top of, what is it, 600 metres of climbing or something
yeah,
down.
it's a long
So like,
feet down.
No, I mean, you spent hours climbing to that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So turning around is not really an option. You can see the top of the mountain, but also there's this massive drop either side. It's just it's not technically hard, it's just very scary.
Yeah, it's not technically hard.
So again, the sense of completing that and getting to the top was...
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was a hell of a route, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, there's lots of routes.
Yeah, that's one of mine as well, I really like that.
I can remember my first E1 that I worked for ages and ages and ages. I can still remember it now. And that sense of achievement of working that route for weeks and getting that.
A lot of working, a lot of failure, and then one day
there's lots of
it
also
just goes right.
Lovely days. I remember when we first were just coming to Gower climbing when we were students in Cardiff, and just doing what we saw like that dead pigeon route. Can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, that's a diff on Great
It's only
Tour.
a diff, but it's just such a lovely view and such a
Great
lovely
position.
and such a nice route. So I always remember those as well, and as fondly as some of the bigger, more epic things we've done.
The reason we're not bouldering today is because we were training yesterday and Kim's fingers really hurt, so I'm thinking maybe I should have brought a mat now. The wind's dry before the bowl. Have you got any bad memories of climbing?
Ogmore.
What's wrong with Ogmore?
No, saying that, I can remember that's not a bad memory. It's probably one of the only times I've been properly terrified. But I got through it and it was great and it was a fine route and it was easy, and then I went on to lead stuff, but that was scary.
That's actually one of my best memories because you were so scared.
Yeah, that's probably the
I
most
really
terrified
enjoyed
I've
that
ever
because you
been,
were so
I think.
terrified. I think it was because you were so terrified, but you still got on and did it.
Oh, I did absolutely,
And
yeah.
we got to the top completely safe. It wasn't technically hard. It was
No, it
just.
wasn't, no.
Was that Pinocchio? That's just
Yeah, I
massive
can't remember what it's
exposure.
called
Brilliant route.
Yeah, I
Sea
just got-
crashing underneath your feet. There's a big long traverse with air under your feet. Just brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know why I got so terrified, because I normally like that kind of, that sense of, you know, the waves crashing under your feet and things.
Ogmore's to another level though, isn't
But
it?
yeah, that,
Ogmore, there's not very much escape when the tide's coming in. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah, that may be why.
Is there anything you don't like about climbing?
When your fingers hurt. My fingers are really bad at the moment. I hate that. That's really hard. Recovering, you know, you want to climb and then you can't because your fingers hurt too much.
Yeah.
That I hate. It's really painful.
How do you balance the risk of climbing against life and having a family, having kids?
Well, I think when we first started, well, I climbed until I couldn't fit in a harness anymore when I was pregnant with Jack.
But I just mean generally.
And then after that, I think you have a different attitude to it when you first have children, and you sort of want to preserve yourself and make sure you're safe for your children's benefit. And as the children get a bit older, and you get a bit older, I think you change a little bit again. And I want to take them climbing and experience all the things that I like about climbing. So I'm sort of inclined to do more. And I think you balance it, because if you really love it, you want to do it.
Is there risk?
Yeah, there's a lot of risk, because like now, the same as mountain biking, is I'm a bit hesitant to push myself with bouldering particularly, where there's a risk of falling off and injuring myself, because it means that I won't be able to do my job, I won't be able to make the things I want to make and do the things I want to do, and then it just becomes a pain in the arse. It's really difficult if you injured yourself to look after the children and other things. So I probably don't push myself as hard as I could because of it.
So we've reduced the risk, haven't we, really, since we've had kids?
Yeah, certainly, because I don't climb as hard. I don't push myself as hard.
We do more sport climbing, which is...
Yeah, we do a lot more sport
less
climbing.
risk.
But then that's also because there is a lot of sport climbing to do here now that there wasn't before.
And also it's a time convenient thing, isn't it? When you've got kids, you
Massively,
haven't
yeah.
got as much time.
Yes.
Sport climbing is quick, trad climbing...
Yeah,
takes
trad
more
climbing
time.
is a lot more time consuming.
So one of the
certainly.
days when we go to sea cliffs and do weekends and multi-pitch
You need a whole
routes
day
and
to go and do a decent traditional cliff climbing route, really, don't you?
we don't get whole days to ourselves anymore.
Not really. Well, even if we do, we don't want to spend a whole day Although, saying that, sometimes you do. No, but you don't really want to spend a whole day, and the children don't want to be, if they're not climbing, they don't want to be sort of sat on a cliff edge, and you don't want them sat on a cliff edge where it could be dangerous. I'm going to have to get myself a metal detector.
No. We'll never see you again if you get a metal detector.
I'd love one. That's the best thing ever. What's in it? Just me, Dad.
See that sun? Yeah, the rain's coming back. Another hour or so. Last question. What do you want to do in climbing in the future?
Hatchet Man. I haven't done yet.
Particular route.
Yeah, Hatchet Man I want to do next, because
Yeah.
that's been bugging me a little while.
What about a long tour?
I'd like to be able to climb 7A,
Whoa.
because I can do 6C depending on what it is.
How steep it
Yeah, steepness is an issue, I need to work on that. But 7A would be great.
is. Alright.
And travelling and climbing more, I think. Yeah.